Good morning, everybody. Can you hear me at the back? It's good. My name's Arne Leeflang. I would like to tell you a little bit about a small country with big opportunities. Welcome to Study in Holland. So where does Holland lie? And where do the Netherlands lie? The northwestern corner of mainland Europe, you will see Germany to the east, around here, Belgium and France to the south, and across the Channel, Britain is to the northwest. Now, at this stage you might be wondering, study in Holland, study in the Netherlands, what's the difference? Holland is really a large province in the country, the Netherlands, but both terms are very often used interchangeably, and so also in our presentation. The story of the Netherlands and the story of the Dutch goes hand in hand with the story of living with water. Only half the country is more than a meter above sea level. About this high, yeah? The other half is below that. This close proximity to water has given the Dutch the opportunity to become experts in any matters related to water. You will see so many typical Dutch aspects or aspects which are typical of the Dutch, which are related to water in some way or another. You'll find tulips, transport on waterways, the canals, the dikes, and even the windmills originally played a very important role with the relationship with water. But not everything is related to water, and you will also find that the Dutch have a very strong association to cheese. The Dutch are very used, or there's a strong relationship to bicycles and the Dutch. You'll find that on average, every Dutch has at least 2 bicycles in numbers. Everything can be summed up. There's a very familiarity, there's a strong sense of friendliness and an irresistible character, which can be summed up in the word gezelligheid. So why study in Holland? Holland has some of the top universities worldwide, with, in the latest rankings, 8 in the top 100 times higher education rankings, and in both the Times Higher Education and the QS rankings, there are 12 universities in the top 200. So you will definitely find something, some course of quality and a university of quality that appeals to you. Holland is a small country that offers big opportunities. When I say small, from east to west, the furthest distance is 200 kilometers, and from north to south, the furthest distance is 300 kilometers. That's less than from here to Durban. So everything is very close, everything is very close by, and everything is very well connected. You'll find a very well organized public transport system. And the Dutch have become very pioneering people, very creative, very connected. The Netherlands also offers a very international classroom, with over 2,100 courses offered in English. The Netherlands were the first country in Europe to start offering courses in English as well, and in other languages. 12% of all students are international students, and in the Netherlands, beyond the campus, there are over 200 different nationalities residing in the Netherlands. So studying in the Netherlands, studying in Holland, doesn't only expose you to Dutch people, but really exposes you to a wide variety of global citizens. Just a bit of information on the higher education system in the Netherlands. There are basically two main bodies. They're the research universities with a strong focus on academic or a strong academic focus, and then there are the universities of applied sciences with a more practical, more hands-on approach. And these typically also include engineering, business sciences, and so on. We have representatives of both university types here at the fair. They are of the Universities of Applied Sciences. We have representatives of Stenden University of Applied Sciences, Windesheim University of Applied Sciences, and in Holland University of Applied Sciences. And of the research universities, we have University of Twente with the Faculty of Geoinformation Science and Earth Observation, and the Erasmus University of Rotterdam with the Institute for Housing and Urban Development Studies. I really encourage you to go to the stands and have a conversation with the representatives to really see what they are all about. Just a bit of information about the two systems. In the Universities of Applied Sciences, you would typically follow a 4-year bachelor degree, and then this will lead to a 1 to 2 year master degree. At the research universities, on your right, you would typically follow a 3-year Bachelor of Science or Bachelors of Arts, which then also leads to a master's degree of 1 to 2 years, and this also offers the opportunity to continue to do your PhD. PhDs are only offered at research universities. Doing a PhD in the Netherlands is a little different to South Africa. The PhD positions, or a PhD, or to study a PhD, it's always connected to a PhD position. So as a PhD candidate, you would always be part of the research staff and not considered a student as such anymore. Thus, there's a limited amount of PhD positions, but there's also, because it is part of the research staff, the typical PhD is considered 4 years, as opposed to the minimum registration period in South Africa of 2 years or 3, which very few, I think, actually hold. The Dutch believe that education is worth something and that it doesn't come free. However, they are very good, they offer very good value for money education, and particularly compared to some of the neighbor countries, and are very comparable and competitive even to South African universities. There's a whole range of funding and support opportunities, and I'd like to encourage to have a look at the website Study in Holland Scholarships. You will find all matters related to studying in Holland at the Study in Holland website, and so also the scholarship database, which gives a list of all opportunities available in the Netherlands. Just put in your search criteria to get a reduced and relevant list for yourselves. And then, I'd like to encourage you to come and visit us at the Study in Holland stand, at the NESO stand, and also speak to some of the Dutch university representatives. This has been a very concise set of information. We've got great booklets that give a more detailed information as well. This is all information and data. I would like to introduce to you Jolien Paalman, who's an intern at the Dutch embassy currently, and who studied in the Netherlands herself. I think the experience is also always so much more relevant than just the information. Jolien.
Yeah, thank you. Can I switch to this one? Yeah, it's working. Good day, everyone. My name is Jolien Paalman. I studied in the Netherlands. I am from the Netherlands, so I'm Dutch, as they call it. And I want to show you a little bit of what it's like to study in the Netherlands. So to show you what, for me, really makes studying in the Netherlands unique. I don't know who of you is actually familiar with the Netherlands, who has been there, has seen it, or maybe you have absolutely really no idea. And I want to show you some pictures of my student life in university, but also outside of university, to give you a bit of an idea of what it would actually be like if you would go and study in the Netherlands. So for me, there's really three things that make the Netherlands unique in terms of studying there. The first thing is the way that you are challenged in university, but also outside of university to develop yourself as a person. The second thing is the highly international environment that you will end up in, because even though the Netherlands is really small, it's I think the size of Gauteng, so that indicates how small it is, but it's very international, and in the universities especially. And the third thing is student life, because I think student life is really what makes the Netherlands unique as well. So I just took some pictures. This is me at my graduation. I have to say, studying in the Netherlands, it's not easy. You are going to be challenged, but I think everyone who's here in this room is looking for a challenge. You know, you're thinking of going abroad, you want to be challenged, and you'll definitely get that in the Netherlands. You are expected to engage in your classes, to ask critical questions, to even go into debate with your professor. That's really what we like in the Netherlands. Everyone can join in and have a discussion and share your thoughts or your, maybe the questions that you have about something that is being taught to you. But also, besides your studies, there's a lot of extracurricular activities. You can participate in the organization of many events, if it's in the political field, in the career services. You're encouraged to do projects with companies and to develop yourself as a person as well during your time as a student. So here you see, of course, at the end of a hard year or 3-4 years of studying, it's also time to celebrate. Then if we go on to the international environment, personally I studied a course completely in English, and that's true for a lot of the bachelor, but especially the master programs. Most of them are in English. Some people even think that English is our official language, which it's not, it's Dutch, which is actually quite similar to Afrikaans. But everyone speaks English and almost all the classes are in English. And specifically my study, it was a study of 150 people, of which half was from abroad. So it's a very international environment and you get to meet people from all over Europe, but also from all over the world. And then what it's like to live in the Netherlands. As Arne already said, and I mentioned as well, it's a small country, and people will typically live throughout the whole city. So, for example, I lived in Rotterdam, but also if you look at Amsterdam or Utrecht, and all the other cities, students will typically live throughout the city. So you just take your bike and you cycle to your friends, you know, that live 5 minutes away. Or you maybe take the train and you go to Amsterdam, which is never really more than 2 hours away, no matter where you are in the country. And also to the rest of Europe, it's very well connected. It's a very easy country, basically, to get around to. And there's a lot of, typically Dutch events also being organized here. You'll see King's Day, which is a typical festivity where everyone will dress up in orange. And those are, of course, also parts of really immersing yourself in a different culture. But if you think of studying in the Netherlands, it's of course also about having fun, being maybe a member of a specific group that either attaches to your culture or a sport, an interest that you have otherwise. So I think I can also say that besides that it can be challenging, it can also be a lot of fun to study in the Netherlands. That's basically what we had to say now, but if you have any questions now, you're more than welcome to ask them to either of us.
The University of Johannesburg. Rethink, reinvent.